Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
Money.
Let's get to the
Money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in your ass screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty K, the 4 units getting played. Always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scared money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-pop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies.
Welcome to the Balking Dead Season 2, where there is no sleep for the wicked. And yes, I'm wearing the same sweatshirt for 3 days because I'm winning. And in baseball, you need to keep some freaking superstitious shit, guys. So let's keep that train rolling. I'm your host, Sharpie's Bets, and it's Friday, and we have us a treat. Spin Doctor, glad you were able to make it on Senga Day.
I wouldn't miss this.
How you doing?
I would not miss this. This is a loaded ass card, man. This is a loaded card. I started capping this shit at like 4 o'clock yesterday.
Me too.
I was so excited about it,
man. I love capping the night before in a good mood.
Love
too.
it.
It's like when you're on your game, man. You're on your game, and we're both seeing the board well. So let's just keep that freaking thing rolling. This show is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you haven't, go on over there and use that promo code PubSports on your first deposit. They will match you up to 100 with a minimum of 25. We're hotter than fish grease, seeing the board well. 3-1 bets with the 7-0 leans on the last 12 pitchers talked about on this show. Yeah, if you're not tailing, please take the advice, guys, from the best duo since Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. We will give you all of our information you need to finalize your own bets or the reasons why we're going to stay off. So enough small talk. Let's get to it. Shout out to the ones who showed up early. Let's get to the monies, guys. Smash the like button if you like what you're hearing. Shout out to Big Show Picks. Y'all know the drill. Hit that retweet and make sure them notification bells are on. We have 2 dirty Ks plus a pitching outs bet. If we get to 75 likes, I will drop the pitching outs, guys. It's not on a guy we're covering today. I will always give you my bets on the 6 we cover, guys. So do me a favor. I do you a favor. And guess what? Spin Doctor got a favor too. He gonna drop his tout play of the day, guys. So let's get to the damn money. On this show, I use FanDuel lines as my lines because they tend to come out first. I compare them to PrizePicks and what they have up. Shout out to Dan Kelly and other people in the chat, guys. Line shop. This is where we need to be like women, though. I use 2 different places. That don't mean those are the ones you got to take. I will tell you the juice I'm willing to take on these guys because I put that into my cap the night before. So let's get into it, guys. Pitcher number 1, number in the black book, 78. Trevor Rogers versus the Diamondbacks, 20.9 K percentage and a 9.3 walk percentage. Opening line was 5+ -156. Closing line was at a 5+ -164. Can't really bet a -156 or 64 prop too much, guys. You'll get punched in the face. PrizePicks pitching out 16 is where they have him at. 3rd start of the year, so no need to talk tags. No need to talk his last game at 8 averages, guys, because this is where I go back with Evaldi and Freddie Peralta, where this man's been hurt the last season and a half, guys. So I'll go back to 2021 and I'll read the reports on Trevor Rogers and listen to how he's talking. He says he's healthy, and I just want to watch and see, and we'll get into that, guys. So I didn't hit his K per nines last year or his averages because the man was hurt. The man wasn't Trevor Rogers from 2 years ago. So before I poison you, we going to let the spin doc himself give you his good blessings on this man.
Yep. So Trevor Rogers, you know, the Diamondbacks have been one of the, to some people, the biggest surprises in baseball. I actually thought that this would be their breakout year this year or next year. They got a lot of young talent now, and they have a really, really good salary cap situation where they're not really deep into luxury tax or anything like that. They can add pieces. This is a team that's set up for success. But let's talk about tonight. I have this one as a strong lean on the under. My problem with this is, just like Sharpie said, the juice is just disgusting. You also have, and this doesn't play, I don't think, as much of a role in baseball, especially going west to east, but there's a travel aspect here. You do have a West Coast team going all the way east across 3 time zones to play game 1 of a series. So Rogers, you know, so Diamondbacks this year are 19.2% striking out against lefties and 146 plate appearances. That matches up with their high contact approach across the board. So, you know, but lifetime, when I look at this team, I also see that Rogers is, this is for his career, this is across everything, 30.3% K percentage against lefties in his home park. We also have a pitcher's ump tonight. Jamie Rehack is behind the plate. His K percentage is 23.9%. That's way above an umpire average of 20.5. So that would play into the over. There are too many factors on both sides here. I also agree with Sharpie. There's just no way that you can compare his first 2 games as any kind of comparable stat, because he played the Mets. Not only did he play the Mets, he played them back to back. So now you have a situation where he's playing a non-divisional opponent, and he's going to play against a team that he hasn't seen very much. Under 40 plate appearances lifetime against this squad. So right now I have Rogers slated for just over 5 strikeouts exactly. That is way too close to this line of 5.5. This is just a pass for me. Like I said, if you gave me a free play just because of how high contact the Diamondbacks have been, I would lean on the under, but way too juicy for me. So for me, I got nothing on this.
It's all gravy, man. There's not enough numbers for me to make a final decision personally on his K prop. But if you look at what the numbers are saying, they're going to say something else than what I've been watching. Like you just said, the numbers say they're not striking out the lefties, guys. Well, I watch every fucking Dodger game. I saw Julio Urias punch out 6 and 6. I saw Clayton Kershaw on the first side of a back-to-back punch out 9. So good pitching does beat good hitting, guys. So maybe it's a little skewed, but Arizona was one of those teams last year that did make contact. So you got to pay attention to that. So they did lose their hitting coach. And I don't know. Right here, this is... If Rogers is back to 2021 Rogers to me, guys, where he had a sub-3 ERA and struck out a 10 K per 9 from both sides of the plate, then it's over or not. But I'm okay just watching this, seeing if Rogers is coming back and if Rogers really is that dude that I think he's going to be. Yeah, like you said about the Mets too. I'll throw out 2 games versus the Mets like it's nothing, and we'll get into that about Charlie Morton. I mean, the guy faced the goddamn Padres and St. Louis Cardinals. Can you give the man a break? But we'll talk about that when the time comes. I believe this is a special spot, though. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I got one more thing about the Diamondbacks. You're talking about their contact. Yeah. Lost their hitting coach, but the approach has still been on contact this year. So far this year, so the thing that doesn't compute to me for an under is so far this year, granted in limited action, but even against the Mets, Rogers ranks in the 95th percentile for chase rate. So times he gets guys to go fishing. The Diamondbacks have the second highest contact percentage outside the zone at 62.1. Anything where you're swinging outside the zone and you're making contact 60% or more of the time is really, really good. Those two things don't jive. A number of things that I said before, they just don't jive. There's just nothing that locks into place for me that says this is a guy that I got to get my money behind. Every damn team in MLB is playing today, guys. There's better spots than this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm all about picking my guys in their spots, and we've got a guy here that breaks down the whole card every day, guys. So even though I'm gonna give you some weak ass breakdowns sometimes, that's the great thing about having the spin doctor here, guys, is he does break down the whole damn card every day. Let's get into a special little spot on the day. We may have somebody in it, whether it be me, whether it be him. Tune the hell in, guys. Number 16 in he's not number 16, number 63 in the black book, Nestor Cortez versus the Twins. Nasty Nestor. 2022, he had a 26.5 K percentage and a 6.2 walk percentage. Morning line was a 6+ -122. PrizePicks has hits allowed have him at an under over 5. Third start of the year, so no need to talk tags. Last 8 strikeouts average is 5.4. Win percentage to the under over 5.5. His last games is 30%, guys. So -122 on a 30% at that number. That just don't add up right there. So I'm one of those guys that makes the lines because I know what the books do. And when they don't give me a guy's average, I've got to figure it out. And yeah, there's nothing telling me right there in the line that I'd want to chase this over itself. So projected lineup, 6 righties, 3 lefties. K per 9, 2022, he averaged 9.2 at home and a 9.5 on the road. 11.8 K per 9 versus lefties and an 8.8 versus righties. Lefties hit a measly $110 off this man last year, while righties 202. Home 161, well road 221 batting average against. The projected lineup, like I said, is that 6 righties, 3 lefties. They got to be a fucking idiot if they run 3 lefties out there, guys. And that's why I tend not to put too much into projections, guys, because analytics, they're staring at what I just said. They're not going to run out 3 guys who are going to hit a $110 today, are they? I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think they are. So let's get into the spin doctor and let's see who's on what in this game.
Oh, yeah. This is easy. So we got a tout prop. For those of you who don't know, that's my public prop of the day. It's almost always an under. And this one is my one of my favorite unders of the day. Nestor Cortez Jr., under 5.5 strikeouts. When I took it, it was at even money on FanDuel. This was a relatively easy underplay for me. So the righties of the Twins have projected to be in this lineup. When you think about guys like Correa, when you think about guys like Miranda, you think about guys like Willie Castro. So you look and against lefties lifetime on the road, you have guys with Correa 17.6% K rate, Castro 16.5, Solano 17.8. It's about the same this year. The other thing that I look at here too is Nestor Cortez. Nestor Cortez, a 58% first strike percentage. Twins so far this year, 56.3% first strike percentage. That is very, very correlative, and it's very, very good for the Twins. Reason why is when the Twins go on a 1-0 count, they only strike out against all pitchers 20.1% of the time. So Cortez, very, very similar numbers here. So you have a guy who's not throwing a lot of first pitch strikes against a team that capitalizes when he doesn't. The other thing is Cortez has gone against this Twins team, whether it be home or on the road, against somewhat similar lineup construction 4 times over the last 2 years. He's only went over this number, or over the last 3 years, if you count 2021, it's only gone over this number 1 time. The other thing that plays a factor here is we have an extreme hitters umpire. We got John Libka behind the plate, extreme hitters umpire, 9% walk percentage. That's well above the 8% that umpires average. And in games that he umpires, strikeouts fall by an average of about 3%. So you factor all of that into play, and you look at a couple, actually Nestor's last start for sure. Velo on all 4 pitches, down. Spin on all 4 pitches, down from his average. And when you got a guy that is only throwing a 4-seam fastball that tops out at 91, and then he can't put his cutter with as much spin and as much location, and a Twins team who, from a contact perspective, have been one of the better teams in baseball this year. They're good at making contact. They're good at not striking out. So, you know, this to me, when you're giving me plus money for a play like this, I am very, very interested. So I will make my official public play today. Nestor Cortez Jr. under 5.5 strikeouts. It was at even money. It's getting lightly juiced in some places. I think you can play it up to -125 ish is probably as far as I would go before I would think about maybe reducing my stake a little bit to limit your risk. But at even money, yeah, this is a 1-unit play easily.
Usually every day, guys, except on the day that me and Spin Doc do the shows, we talk or at least send each other what we're on, or hey, do you have a reason why to not play this one today, or da 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 da. These days we don't do that. So when we like link up on a lot of things, guys, let me tell you, two great minds do think alike, guys. So let's talk Nasty Nestor Day when they actually need him to go deep after the debacle they were put into yesterday, giving up a 9-piece in the first inning. And now he gets these same Twins guys who we seen 2 times last year and didn't make it to the 5th inning. Now, we all know my rule on Yankee pitchers not named Garrett Cole. I do have inside information, guys, that I got on Nestor Cortez right before the game. And I put it out on Twitter, and you may think me funny, but yeah, he loves his baby's mom way too much to cheat on her, where Garrett Cole will pound Aaron Boone's wife if he ever takes him out of game. So the only Yankee I'll ever bet again in my life on a K-prop, guys, is Garrett Cole. It's the only one Aaron Boone trusts. So Rodon, I will see you. I will bet you until Boone boons me with you as well. But I love you, Rodon. So come back and be healthy, guys. So yeah, trust me, guys. I know this. Nestor today, guys, is under or nothing for me. I track about 15 to 20 lefties out of the 80 pitchers in my book. Every single one of them smacked the Twins last year on their K-prop, except Nestor Cortez. I can't back him, and I don't know if I ever will again, guys. And I don't bet unders. So he may just be scrapped out the book sooner rather than not. Because even when you look at teams when he's supposed to strike them out, he don't. He goes deep. So I'll just end up betting the dude's pitching outs. But then again, I got to trust Aaron Boone. And guess what? He's right about where Dave Roberts is right now. And yeah, you've got to trust your coaches when betting props. Bob Melvin, guys. Oh, he's a pitcher's coach. He's going to let his guys go out there, guys. Holy crap! I passed on the Mets the other day live because I was just cheering for my boy to get his under. But I knew 92 pitches, getting the shit whapped out of him by the Mets, that Bob Melvin was going to send his dump truck ass back out there because he wants him to get that quality start under his belt buckle. You need to know this about your pitchers, guys. Betting race props. Well, we're going to talk about it real quick, guys. Don't bet 17.5 pitching outs when a fucking starter hasn't gone past the 6th inning. I mean, you only have a wiggle room of about a half of an out because he's not going to go past 6. They're going to go to their bullpen, and now you've got to get them to go 6, guys. So there's other ways to attack. Know your coach, know the game plans, and the starting pitchings that's eating up the most inning this year, Milwaukee Brewers, guys. And they took my Freddie Peralta from me today, but that's okay. They give it to us to him tomorrow. So we'll talk Freddie tomorrow, guys. So the lean on Nestor is the under. My boys' play is the damn under. So get in where you fit in.
One more thing about Nestor, about the Yankees pitching staff. So yes, they got absolutely torched last night and they had to go to their bullpen in the first inning. However, they only used 3 relief pitchers. So their bullpen is still relatively intact. So they used one guy for 3 innings, another guy for 3 innings. And so, yes, they technically used 4 guys in relief, but one of them was Isaiah Kiner Falefa to do mop-up duty at the end to save their bullpen, potentially for a night like tonight. So and the 2 guys one for sure that they used was their long reliever who probably wouldn't be coming in if Nestor was replaced in the 4th or 5th inning anyway. So Brito got smacked, but they didn't really use any of the guys that you would think would be coming in for Nestor tonight.
I know you watch those games probably a lot more than I do, but you're a Twins fan, or at least you're from there. So Joe Ryan question real quick before we get to the next one. I know he's good. I know he changed his pitches. But do you think there was a little more strikeouts because they went down 9-0 and the team
Yes.
just fucking said, let's go home?
Yep.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah,
I didn't want to put too much merit into
No,
it. They're
that
gonna
was
fucking steam them because of that game last week, and we got to pay attention to that next week, guys. We
no.
got to.
No, that was a fuck it, we're down. We're gonna try to get back in this by hitting home runs or striking out and just getting the hell out of here.
I put it
That's
on
exactly what
Twitter,
it
bro.
was.
Strikeouts are a common down this many runs, bro. They're just gonna let's go home.
Yep.
But yeah, let's talk about number 3 pitcher of the day, guys. And this is the best part about bringing on my guy, guys, is guys I don't have in my book. He's ready to talk about. So let's talk about Drew Rasmussen at the Blue Jays. 21.4 K percentage and a 5.3 walk percentage last year. Opening line 5 plus minus 134. PrizePicks hits allowed was under over 5. Third start of the year, no need to talk tags. Last 8 game strikeout average is 5.1. Win percentage to the under over 5.5. Last 10 games is 70%. Projected lineup, 5 righties, 4 lefties. Strikeouts K per 9, 2022. Home, he had an 8.2 K per 9, road a 7.3. Lefties an 8.4 K per 9, while righties a 7.3. Lefties hit a 207 batting average against last year, righties 232. We're at home, an absurd 181 batting average against and a 262 on the road. Spin Doc, let them know where you're at on this one.
Yeah, so I'm salty at the Blue Jays because actually over the last few days, one of the only losses that we've had with all my K props, I took Spencer Turnbull last night, and that ended within like 2 fucking innings. So they were just hacking wildly at that shit. But let's talk about Rasmussen. So this is a guy who has just gotten better year after year after year. I mean, you look at some of his pitch metrics going into this year. His forcing fastball average 95.5 last year. He's up to 96. He can touch 98, 99. His cutter has more break than it did last year. More. Yeah, it was only had 1.4 inches of horizontal movement last year, 2.8 inches now. You might think that that's not insignificant. That is not insignificant at all. This man is throwing his mind out so far. So for me, when I look at Rasmussen, to me, it's over or nothing on this one. The 4.5 number, I think you're still getting a little bit of a depressed number because it is the Blue Jays at home. But when, so you look at the Blue Jays and 22% K percentage so far against right-handed pitching. That's average. That's right in line with MLB average. But you do look at a guy like Rasmussen, his chase rate, especially on that cutter, is in the 99th percentile. 99. And what that means is how many pitchers are better at him than getting guys to chase so far this year? None. Not a single damn one. And when I combine that with a Toronto team who swings a decent amount out of the zone, and besides guys like Vladimir Guerrero or the top of their lineup, has mixed success for contact. I think for me, Rasmussen is an over or nothing play.
Yes, sir, guys. I have rules that I just don't bet people, guys, in my black book, guys. And he's really damn close to getting put in, guys. I track 80 guys at the moment, and it may be 81 after today. Today is my test day for him, guys, and we'll get into it, guys. When I bet him last year to win, he lost. When I bet him to lose, he'd win. So, Rasmussen was almost up there with Snell with me, guys. But Snell fucking me and him. Me and Rasmussen don't have that yet. So, Rasmussen, guys, is just getting better year by year, guys. And, he's faced 2 bottom feeder teams and now gets a Jays, who he faced 2 times last year with mixed results. He got smoked with 1 strikeout and a quality start with 5 strikeouts. Now, the Jays this year are a little better than league average hitting versus righties, striking out league average and walking a little bit below league average. This, to me, is the stay off and watch. And if Rasmussen hits and dicks him down, Rasmussen is getting put in the damn book today, guys. So, two crappy teams don't get you in there. If you go hold down the Blue Jays today, or at least pitch a quality start and the strikeouts are there, then I'm adding to him. It is what it is. Life's a bitch and you marry one, and we get to moving on. Shout out to the chat, guys. Smash the like if you like what you're hearing. If you guys have any pitching props we're not covering today, we will get to them at the end. Throw them in the chat, the questions you have, time permitting. We're almost to the 75 likes, guys, where I will drop the third pitching prop I'm on today. That we will not be covering. So smash it while we talk about Uncle Charlie. Number 29 in the black book, Charlie Morton at the Royals. 2022, he had a 28.2 K percentage and an 8.7 walk percentage. Opening line last night. 7+ at a +120. Morning line 6+ -116. 5.5 on PrizePicks. So I mean that dropped the whole number in line right there, guys. PrizePicks has him at a 5.5. Pitching outs is at 17.5. Third start of the year, coming off of 92 pitches. I don't see the Rangers. I don't see the Braves having a problem with him right now. So yeah. Last 8 games, strikeout average is 5.5. His win percentage to the under/over 5.5. His last 10 was 50%. Projected lineup: 5 lefties, 4 righties. Strikeouts K per 9 in 2022. 12.1 at home and a 9.3 on the road. A lot of people will put that into effect. Look at the back of a baseball card. 10.8 at home the year before, 10.1 on the road. Not too shabby, right? Go back another year and it actually flips to where he was better on the road. He is a pitcher, guys. He's been pitching for fucking 15 years. You're going to get all types of splits on this, man. So last year, though, lefties 10.5, righties an 11.1 K per 9 against. Batting average in 22 against. Lefties hit a $165, righties hit a $184. Well, at home, a $145 and 210. Breakdown, guys. We gonna let the spin doc get into it before I tell you my bet on Uncle Charlie.
All right. So as a pitcher, I love Charlie Morton, man. The old man just keeps rolling. And when it's working, that curveball is just lethal. He can just wipe guys out with that pitch. So this is an over or nothing play to me. I personally did not play it myself. However, and the only thing that kept me off of it here was there was a little concern with some of his lack of success in recently, even the end of last year on the road. Plus, you talked about the split between right versus left. So the projected lineup for the Royals has 2 lefties who don't strike out very much at all, in Nicky Lopez and Vinny Pasquantino. And they also have a few other guys that are projected to be in their lineup that have pretty good success against both the curveball and righties at home, them being Bobby Witt Jr. and Sal Perez, both of them 16.0 and 16.6% K percentage against righties at home, respectively. That said, the rest of the lineup, good Lord, if the Royals start Franmil Reyes tonight, 30.4% K percentage versus righties for the year. You also got Massey at 26.7. There's a bunch of guys here that are 25 or more. You combine that with I go back to what Sharpie, what you said about the quality of opponent and the quality of hitters that Morton faced in his first 2 starts compared to what he faced tonight. So, like, he faced a whole team of Lopez and Pasquantinos in the fact that they don't strike out, especially against the Cardinals. So, you can't put a whole bunch of stock into that one. For me on this one, it was one where I was like, I had my finger on the trigger and I just couldn't do it for whatever reason. And I hope I don't regret that. But if you are playing this, under is simply not an option. It's over or nothing.
Well, maybe I'll sway your opinion by the end of this. Here we go, man. I make my lines, guys, before the books drop them, and I spotted what they were trying to do to me from a mile away, guys. They opened them at 6.5, and I made my notes saying, no, this is 5.5. It should be plus money, but up to -115. I was willing to pay -140 for this spot. Now, 6.5 plus money last night. I went to sleep. I laughed. I said, we ain't here to chase nothing, bro. Not a damn thing. We're here to bet averages and when they're going to freaking bust through those averages. So count me in on old Uncle Charlie and let's get dirty, guys. He's facing the Royals, who we didn't see last year. Advantage Morton. Taking how the Royals are hitting, which they're not, and they're striking out at a 25% clip, guys. Morton opened the year versus the Cards, who don't strike out, And my guy next to me cashed that under very easily that day. And then he had the Padres, who don't strike out historically, but are striking out at a 24% clip this year. And he put up 6. The difference in the Padres K percentage and the Royals is the adjusted K percentage, guys, where I take in the walk percentage, where the Padres are top 3 this year in walking versus righties, and the Royals are below league average. He had 2 tough matchups that start the year, and a nice spot to remind everyone that he still got the goods at a young age of 39. A lot of people, guys, will look at last year and see Morton had more Ks at home than on the road. Well, it was dead even the year before and flipped the years back, like I was just reading off before this, guys. My thing with Morton is, we talked about it last year on this show. He was coming back from a broken femur bone the first half of the season, guys. So, Uncle Charlie, let's look at you post All-Star break. Uncle Charlie last year in the book faced 5 teams non-division with a 24% strikeout rate or higher. We have a non-division strikeout rate of 24% or higher right now, guys. He was 5-0 to the over, hitting 7 strikeouts or more in every game, averaging 8.4 strikeouts a game, with 3 games at home and 2 on the road right there, guys. So I'm not stressing on this road. I'm not stressing at him home. I'm playing this non-divisional K percentage where he is 5-0 to the over. And they gave me the juice. I was willing to take it. -116, sign me up. Now, we get to talk about a guy who
sorry. Just one more thing about Morton to support it. So his curveball is his most off-thrown pitch. Obviously, the vast majority of the time, it is out of the strike zone. And, you know, actually, it's been run. It runs low and away typically. So who has so far this season the #1 highest swing percentage at pitches outside of the strike zone? That would be the Kansas City Royals. Sorry.
Speaketh, oh wise one. I knew you were coming with the Royals right there. Let's go. That just makes me feel that much better. But yeah, Uncle Charlie is my dirty K, and old Dirty Nestor is his tout play to the under, if you guys missed it. If you guys have any other pitchers, we're going to talk about Luis Garcia, and we're saving the best pitcher for last, Kodai Senga, guys. Any other guys that we ain't touched today, time permitting, throw it in the chat and we will give you our opinions. Remember, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Let's talk about Luis Garcia, number 49 in the black book, 2022 with a 24.4 K percentage and a 7.3 walk percentage. Opening line 6+ -132. PrizePicks has him at a 5.5, where his pitching outs were at 17.5. Third start of the year, so no need to talk tags. Now, his last 8 game strikeout average is 4.8. Yeah, 4.8. Win percentage to the under over 5.5 his last 10 games is only 30%. 30%? And they're jumping us up a number and giving us juice, guys. If I was to line this line, it's 4.5. It should be no higher than -115. Projected lineups: 5 lefties, 4 righties. K per 9 in 2022. Home, 9.3. Road, 8.7. If you want to go back last year, 10.3 at home and a 9.1 on the road. Something about these Astro pitchers at home, guys. I mean, I'm not saying they cheat, but they were the ones who first found Spider Tack and beat on a trash can, so maybe they do. Lefties, 8.5 K per 9 last year, while righties had a 9.5 batting average against. 234 lefties hit, while righties hit a 213. Home, he had a 234 batting average against. Road, 209 batting average against. What do you have to say about rocking the baby?
Man, this is going to be a watch and see one for me. Too many conflicting factors again. I've talked about that a few times, both today and other times on the show, is that when there's conflicting stats that just don't jibe, and especially ones that don't jibe with the line, that's telling me something. And usually it's, don't try to figure this one out. There's better spots on the card. Save your money. Garcia so far this year, only 51.1% first strike percentage. That is not going to get it done from an over perspective, especially when you have a Texas team who has improved in that area considerably. They're one of the worst teams in baseball, going down 0-1 in counts last year. 57.1 this year. I talked about before, anything under 60% is you're in pretty good shape. And we're at the point in the season right now, about 12, 13 to 14, 15 games in, where you can start to use this season's number as a indicator, because you think about first pitches, how many plate appearances have they have? Teams are approaching 400 to 500 plate appearances. That's enough to sample size. So when I look at Garcia against the projected Rangers lineup, 13 Ks in 44 plate appearances, 29.5% K percentage, which would signify the over. First strike percentage would signify the under. Garcia's advanced metrics this year have been a little off. That would signify the under. He's hit this number of times against them, so on and so forth. You see where I'm going with this. It's just over, under, over, under. And when that happens to me, I don't even try to figure this shit out. I just say, I'm going to watch this game and maybe take a live shot at it. So total pass for me.
I was over here fucking with the chat right now, man. I'm just giving LJ a hard time. I know you from Houston. You always up in the chat. He had to. We ain't cheating. I know y'all. I mean, you're only cheating if you get caught, and you got caught like 3 times. But you know, hey, at the end of the day, I'm not a guys who bets unders, but the man next to me ain't afraid to. I talk about it a lot on this show. I bet averages, and I make my own lines. They should have, and if they don't, I don't chase. Unless I could figure out why. Usually I could understand why they drop it down, but to bump it up on a guy who hasn't even come close to his K prop yet this year, I just don't do that with the books, guys. That's just not the way I bet. That's not me. He faced the Rangers one time last year, and he dicked them down 6 innings, 2 earned runs with 9 Ks when the Rangers, by the numbers, weren't hitting walking bottom 5 and striking out at a 24% clip. Another thing last year, we picked on the Rangers with teams who could with a slider. They couldn't hit a slider for the life of them last year, guys. Different teams so far this year. Now the numbers have. Wait, which guy am I even on right now? Yeah, okay. Now the numbers have the Rangers walking league average, still striking out though at a 24% clip, guys. But top 10 hitting in all hitting categories. Yeah, guys, Garcia's had an issue with adapting to his new windup. This guy's used to rocking the baby, and now that we do have a pitch clock, no more rocking the baby, guys. And his velo and spin rate has been down. He is not the same guy right now. And until I see him back to where he's used to being, then I can bet him again, guys. I'm okay with free lessons. Yesterday, the lesson with Lodolo was the back-to-backs. And guess what? He passed that shit even though he didn't hit his K-prop again. To get 6 strikeouts in a game where you punched out that many the day before or the game before, and those umps were squeezing him. I mean, watch the game. The dude should have had 9. I mean, I don't bet unders because guys can definitely bust through that shit. And Lodolo is that guy where I'll look to back him on a back-to-back now. And Garcia's just kick back and watch and see for me, guys. Until his velo's back up, then I could bet him. But he's used to rocking the baby to get his body going downhill. So he needs to figure some shit out. And until then, I'm okay just not betting him. But the guy that I am okay with betting, and the guy next to me may have been betting all goddamn year, and we did a breakdown on him at the beginning of the season on Pub Sports Radio talking about this man. Let's get into it, guys. Number 63 in the black book, Kodai Senga at the Oakland A's. No K percentages to go by, seeing he is the ghost from Japan. Opening line last night where I got in, 6+ -112. Morning line, 6+ -140. It's done creeping and a ticking up, guys. PrizePicks has him at a 6 flat now. Hits allowed or earns runs were not available. This is his 3rd start of the year, so no need to talk tags. Not enough games, guys, to hit his average. This is his 3rd start in the MLB. Projected lineup, 6 lefties, 3 righties. What do you have to bless these people with on the man named Kodai?
Yeah, so I'll start off because y'all know I love numbers. I'll start off with a number, 35.1. And what 35.1 is the number of inches of drop on that ghost forkball. Fucking disgusting. If you have not watched this pitch, you need to. It is gross. When he's throwing it, when he's on, this shit is damn near unhittable. It is pretty to watch. Fastball that tops out and that averages almost 97, can easily hit 98, 99 on the gun. And you know, he struggled a little bit with his control early in his first start, but that really normalized, and he started just popping strikes in there. I mean, Yes, it's only been 2 starts, and yes, it's been a limited sample size. But against lefties this year, this man is striking out 40% of the lefties that he's faced in 2 starts, and almost 36%, 37% of righties. His first strike percentage, despite struggling in the first few innings with control in his first start, is at 68.9%. This guy is dropping dimes on people. So betting the under against a team that's as just god-awful horseshit as Oakland, hey, best of luck to you if you want to do that, but you are literally, I used this analogy last time I was on, Sharpie, is that you are playing with matches next to a gas can, next to an open flame, next to a fucking propane tank. That's what you're doing by playing the under on this one. With Kodai Senga, with the circumstances, you are playing his over or you are doing nothing. Those are your only 2 options in this case.
Well, like I said at the beginning of this, guys, I got in last night. I make my lines 100 damn times. I'll tell you this, guys. I make my own lines, and I explain it to you how I do it throughout every show, guys. It's not like I'm a genius, so let's just talk about it. They don't have enough to go on to make lines off of Kodai Senga right now. He has a back-to-back versus the Miami Marlins. Punched out 8, punched out 6. To even punch out 6 on a back-to-back after punching out 8, guys, wonderful. You kept our strikeouts down, because if it wasn't a back-to-back, guys, we got a 6.5 posted on the board right now. And thank you for giving us a back-to-back. Now, let's talk about it, guys. I set them to open up for -140. They opened them at -112, and we shot that shit down, and we shot it up, guys. I posted it last night. This is going up. And it went. This was the one I was talking about, guys. I knew it. I knew they were -112 on Senga. And I would take them up to that -150. If it gets past there, guys, look to drop them down for 5 or something in the A's to win to get them at a decent price. Don't pay up just because he got boosted up, guys. I'm betting a few different things right here. So let's talk about it. Taking the fact, guys, the books don't know what to do with Senga, and the A's are not hitting. Walking league average and striking out at a 25% clip versus righties. Oh, wowie, wowie. On top of this, guys, like I said, he had a back-to-back, which keeps us at a 5.5. Still, like I said, to get 6 punchies on a back-to-back after getting 8 is something we want to back the next time he sees a back-to-back. He's now in a better pitching ballpark in MLBs, guys. Like, Oakland, oh Lord, it's like pitching in Seattle, fellas. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. So, yes, sir. He's now in one of the best ballparks to go pitching, and he's getting a team that hasn't ever seen him. Now, everyone should know about the Ghost Fork by now. Everybody knows he's got a pitch that nobody has. He's got the Ghost Fork. Well, that to me is a plus in this situation. This ain't even the pitch I really freaking want. We've been talking about this since the last few days, guys. The Oakland A's and anybody who has a slider, guys, whether it be Bieber, Rasmussen, Rodriguez, Ohtani, and the list goes on, they aren't hitting the fucking slider for the life of them. And guess what? Senga throws the slider so far 21% of the time. And if we just get it bumped up a little more, because they're starting to notice what, good catchers notice, this guy can easily have an 8 to a 9 pack today, guys. Oakland A's are trash. And this man is dirty for a reason. 5.5 I got in, -112. Senga to the moon, baby. 85 live, 3 likes away from me dropping the last pick of the day that we didn't talk about. We are going to cruise through this chat real quick, and they want to know any opinions you got on, oh boy, they just want to hear you rant, maybe. Sean Manaea.
No, I'm not going to rant. He actually made it farther. For those that don't know what I do after I load all the data into my model, I actually make several rounds of cuts, and then usually the final 6 to 8 guys make it to where I run some of the deep metrics that you see me post when I post my play on Twitter. Manaea made it farther than he usually has. And, I wasn't opposed to a number of things in his line just because he is facing the Tigers here. Tigers have shown so far this year, up in Toronto was just abysmal, that they'll strike out against damn near anybody. it could be the Yankees throwing fucking Isaiah Kiner Falefa out there and they would strike out. 32.7% strikeout percentage this year versus lefties. My problem here, though, is that a lot of their high strikeout games have come on the road. Their stats are better at home. And when I look at a guy like Manaea, yeah, I was getting plus money for this one at 5.5 when I capped it, but man, it's just really hard for me to project Sean Manaea to get 6Ks on the road. So there just wasn't enough for me. If it was a shorter card, maybe I'd take a small shot at it. And you know, if you're going to play this one, I don't know if playing an under on the Tigers is any kind of viable option at this point. So it's over or nothing. But man, this one just screams we're going to get hooked.
Well, I took Sean Manaea out my book, guys. Sean Manaea throws a cut fastball. The majority of the time, he's looking for a ground ball. I don't want to bet on guys not looking for a strikeout when I take a strikeout prop, guys. At the end of the day, I want guys looking for a punch out, not looking for weak contact. So my thing is, if you can find a whiff percentage or Z percentage, if they're striking out in the zone, that would be a Manaea over type, guys, because when Manaea's on, he ain't walking people, bro. And he's just not a guy I like to back. So Sean Manaea is not a guy I like to bet. We hit that 75 likes. So let's talk about baby. Let's talk about you and me.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Yeah, that too. Patrick Sandoval, guys. That's who we're going to take right now, guys. We're going to take Patrick Sandoval over 16.5 pitching outs at a minus 105. I've got this guy going 6+ today versus the Red Sox. Yes, I know the Red Sox hits lefties. Well, Red Sox hit mediocre lefties and good lefties fucking shove versus this team. And I expect this guy to go out there and shove and go 6+ innings and cash me that minus 105 bet. So that's the way I got in on Patrick Sandoval. Want to let them know your tout play real quick again in case if they missed it?
Absolutely. Nestor Cortez under 5.5 strikeouts. It was earlier. It was at plus 100 on FanDuel. It's lightly juiced on DraftKings. You can find it anywhere between about even money and minus 115. I would play it all the way up to minus 120, 125. But before I started thinking about taking a little bit of a reduced stake.
There it is, guys. 2 dirty Ks. Today we are on Senga, 5.5, minus 112. I would bet him up to the minus 150 range, or else I'd look to take him down one in the A's to win the game. Then we are on Uncle Charlie, 5.5, minus 116 for the Atlanta Braves. Over 5.5, that is. You'll never hear me say under. Sorry, guys. You'll hear that man say under, not this motherfucking one. So, yes, sir, guys. Appreciate you all for coming in today. The only other bet I got on the card, guys, that side or total, since we've got a grip of y'all up in here, is when I fade my team, you should probably get involved. And I'm on the Dodgers team total first 5. Under 2.5. I expect Steele to go out there and shove today. Dodgers versus lefties historically have not been that team, guys. And I expect good pitching to beat good hitting. So I'm taking that Dodgers team total under 2.5. I got it in at a minus 125. I did want the Red Sox team total under first 5, but they juiced it to a minus 150. And I pay attention to my juice because you kind of have to when you kind of do this shit, guys. So bleep, 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 bleep. That's all, folks. I appreciate my guy Spin Doctor for showing up on a Friday when I know he's a busy man. Want to tell these fine folks what you got going on and where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me at Spin Doc Sports. As always, thank you to Pub Sports, to you, Sharpie, and Big Show for having me on. Anytime we can talk about K-props, shit, I am all in for that. So at Spin Doc Sports is where you can find me on Twitter. In about an hour and a half, you can find me on a golf course with a drink in my hand because it is finally warm here in Minnesota where I'm from, and I am going out fucking golfing tonight. So,
ooh,
yeah.
Must say, have a great time.
Yes,
Go out
sir.
there, bring the radio, put a game on, and enjoy your time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I got a Bluetooth speaker that hooks up and links to my MLB that I got through T-Mobile. So we're listening to all the broadcasts while I'm playing.
The Balking Dead, guys, is Monday through Friday on Pub Sports Radio. Follow me on Twitter for the best bet of the day on the weekends at Sharpie's Bets. My producer, guys, and a producer of a lot of these shows over here on Pub Sports Radio, guys, is going to drop a link in the chat of him and two original pubbers, MMA Locker Room and Billy Briz. They have a backyard talk with the boys about this upcoming UFC fight this weekend. So do yourself a favor, pop it on, perfect for a drive or even in the shower. Just don't be touching your noodle when you're listening to my boys. This show is sponsored by PrizePicks. So if you haven't, go on over to PrizePicks and use that promo code PubSports. Get a match deposit of $100 on your first deposit, minimum of $25. Until next time, guys, I'm Sharpie's Bets. He's Spin Doc Sports. This show's produced by Big Show Picks and on Pub Sports Radio. Some say we be pubbing. I say pubbing we be.